And of course, an urgent is going on while I record this video. But whatever. It's Quintessential Q, your quintessential ain't shit YouTuber here. And I know I've been gone for a minute, but I'm back and we're back with some Fantasy Star. This is why I haven't been uploading to the channel. I've been distracted, my bad. But I've been in the gym and I don't know why my camera keeps going out of focus, but I've been in the gym and I got a nice fighter build for y'all, specifically for Knuckles. So, going on into the build, starting off with my babies, the Resurgent Knuckles plus 40 with the level 4 passive and fixed attack 5. I was able to get this off the market. Someone was selling it for like a mil, so I picked it up. It seemed too good. I know technically the Catalea Knuckles are better, but I couldn't find any with a fixed attack 5, so I picked up the Resurgent Knuckles instead. And the Resurgent Knuckles are good because every weapon in the game has a Resurger, is in the Resurger class. So that means you can multi-weapon literally any combination of weapons that you want. I went with multi-weaponing the Knuckles with Wire Lance for the added mobility, but you can literally put in whatever you want here. I recommend either Talus or Wire Lance. Talus for like the AoE mobbing, or Wire Lance for the mobility, as I said earlier. But moving on, the augments, we have Might 3, Form Soul 2, Ult Secreta 2, and Gigas Might 2. And of course, again, the fixed attack 5 and the passive is maxed out as of right now. Potency plus 21%, critical hit rate plus 18% for 30 seconds after a successful sidestep. I do sidestep a lot in my playstyle. Like I sidestep and then like maybe I'll throw out a couple counters, then I'll sidestep to refresh the buff. I kind of play very aggressive when I play like with Knuckles. Fixed attack 5 just gives you 5% potency, so boom. Might 3 gives us a melee weapon potency plus 2%. Form Soul 2 gives us melee and weapon potency plus 2%, as well as 2% damage resistance. Now you could put Didal Soul 2 here, and instead of the damage resistance, you would get PP. I think you get 10 PP, but me personally, I just didn't want the extra PP. Actually, I think it gives you like 5, but like I just didn't want to have the extra PP. I have pretty good PP management, so you know I'm good. I'd rather have the damage resistance because one, we have Ult Secreta. Ult Secreta lowers our HP by 10, but we get plus 1.5 potency and potency floor. What potency floor means is the minimum amount of damage you do is raised up a bit. So let's say the max amount of damage you can do is like 15 damage on a single punch, and the lowest you do is like 10. Potency floor just increases that 10 number, so it's closer to your max amount of damage, if that makes sense. Damage resistance is negative 1.5, which again is why we have the Form Soul 2 to give us the damage resistance. Gigas Might also counteracts the minus 10 HP because we get plus 10 HP and melee weapon potency 2%. Now I will say this is not 100% min-maxed. 100% min-max would be replacing this Might 3 with a Mastery 3, because Mastery 3 gives us 1.5 in potency and potency floor, as well as give us 1.5 in damage resistance. Now you might say, why would you switch out Mastery that only has 1.5 potency and potency floor versus 2%? Well, that is because Mastery having both potency and potency floor makes the increasing your damage multiplicative instead of Might 3, which is additive. Moving on, we got the good old Geant armors. I have a love-hate relationship with these, because for those who know, when you rock the Geant armors, you get minus 50% to all ailments. So trust and believe me, when you rock triple Geant, If a fireball touches you, you are burned. If an electric attack touches you, you are paralyzed. If a poison attack hits you, you are poisoned. If an ice attack hits you, you are frozen on the first hit. Believe you me. The amount of times a straight ice attack hit me and froze me in midair, too many to count. So I will say, be aware of that. Like, if you want to rock triple Geant, you gotta be aware of that. Also, it does decrease your HP by 20. Now, you would be like, Q, if it gives you all these negative effects, why do you rock it? Because at base, it gives you 2% potency on everything, on melee, ranged, and tech, even though ranged and tech don't mean nothing to me, but I got it for the 2% potency because I'm a damage whore. Plus, it also gives you plus 10 PP, which is again another reason why I'm not really struggling for PP out here and don't put in Didal Soul instead of Form Soul. Now, moving on, the same augments that are on the Resurgent Knuckles are on all my Geant units. Might 3, Form Soul 2, Alt Secreta 2, Gigas Might 2. Again, you could switch out Form Soul 2 for Didal Soul 2 if you want the extra PP. I don't blame you. And again, if you want to be perfectly min-max, you would have that set up and switch out Might 3 for Mastery 3. But Mastery is a pain in the ass to make, so it's going to take you forever and a day. And you might as well have Might 3 chilling there while you slowly rack up the resources to make fucking Mastery 3. But that is all for at least the weapons and armor. When it goes to my skill tree, when it comes to my skill tree, you got Overload, which is of course standard. You know, you take more damage, but you also increase the amount of damage that you deal. Your potency goes up by 120%, damage taken goes up by 150%. Defeat advantage, increase damage against downed enemies. I only put 1 point in this because I wanted defeat PP recovery, which increases your PP recovery when you're attacking downed enemies. I kind of value that just a tad bit more because when you level this up, like at max, I think this is like 120% at max, and this is 150% at max. Like, I felt like I was just getting more bang for my buck by putting the points in here. And when we get more skill points and we can level up more, I would probably put more the rest in here. That's all. Fighter skip arts. Now, skip arts are very important just for fighter overall, not just for Knuckles. Skip arts are very important for fighter. For example, let me back out real quick. I'll go back to this menu. This move right here, 1,000 blows, goes into the multiple punches, the little ooda punches into a Shoryuken. But the most damaging part of the PA is the Shoryuken. Now, if you put in the whatever is your input for 1,000 blows without holding a direction, you just go straight into the Shoryuken without doing the ooda punches before. You feel me? And this is where you get a lot of your damage from because you can just go straight into the most damaging parts of certain moves. So that's why skip arts are important. Now, going back to class skills, I have fighter skip arts, and of course, I have the skip arts for if you use the same PA twice. So if I were to use this move twice, and I can go do that. Or like I can do like double Shoryukens, and then I can go straight into like my normals.
Attention all Arcs defenders.
Now, I wish. Shut up, lady. I'm doing a build video. You're being very rude. Overload, endurance, all that. All that this does is that if you would die while Overload is still active, you will be left with 1 HP, but Overload will end and you gain a little bit of invulnerability, so you can heal up or whatever. Very important. Please get Overload and Overload Endurance, they're both important. Same arts skip attack fighter. After using the same PA with your weapon, your next normal will change to the third step. I have both this one and another art skip art that if you use 2 different PAs, you will go to the fourth step. Now, what does this mean? If we go down here, I got Knuckles extra attack. You can string 5 normal attacks with Knuckles. So if you don't have that skill yet, your attacks would look like this. 1, 2, 3. And it would just keep repeating like that. Since I have the extra attack, I get 2 more hits. I get 1, 2, 3, 4, into 5. So when I do the same arts, like if I do this into this, I go straight into 4th and 5th normal. Why is this important? Well, when it comes to Knuckles, 4th and 5th normal is your best normal attacks in your entire string. 4th normal is the best normal for PP recovery, and 5th normal is your most damaging normal. So being able to just skip your combo by doing 2 different abilities and going straight into 4th and 5th normal is the most optimal for you. Now, I'll probably do a more extensive guide on Knuckles that will tell you different routes you can take with your abilities, your typical playstyle, or the playstyle that I feel like is pretty good for Knuckles and stuff like that. This right now is just the overall build video in case you're wondering how you should build your Knuckles. Going back to the class skills though, we're almost done. Last 3. We got Knuckle Sway Counter. After a successful dodge with the weapon action, will automatically unleash a counter attack. Can only be used by Knuckles. So this means when you do your weapon action, which is this bad boy right here, on an oncoming attack, you would immediately counter an attack. I'll probably put some footage in the background showing you probably one of my Bujin speedruns where I use the counter a lot. Counter is a very helpful tool. I'll also show off some counter montages, show you that I'm really out here with the counters. But counter is really important because counter has a lot of damahe behind it. That boy hits like a truck. Anyway, moving on. We have Knuckle Attack Switch. After successfully dodging with weapon action, your next normal attack will go to the 5th stage. Just meaning, again, you will go to your 5th normal. So, after a counter. That's all that means. And Knuckle Sway Counter Plus. When Knuckle Sway Counter is activated, performing a weapon action again will do an additional counter attack. This just simply means that when you use sway and you get a successful sway, after the first sway, you can push the weapon action button again and it will do another hit. This is important because you do some shoulder bash martial arts move, and that shit hits hard as hell. Trust me when I say that thing hits like a goddamn truck. I've hit people for over 1,000 with that move with the extra counter. But that will end the build video. Again, this is how I have my tree set up. This is how I have my skills and stuff set up. You can always switch it up. Like I said, switch up Form Soul for Daddle Soul. Maybe switch up some of the points you allocate in your tree. But this is just an overall what am I rocking currently for endgame stuff. I will do a actual in-depth fighter guide showing you how I play with fighter, how I go about certain boss fights encounters, stuff of that nature, so you can get more of an idea of how I play and how you can maybe take some things and adapt that to your own play style. But till the next video, deuces.